Alright, so I don't normally make videos like this, so please excuse the guerrilla style of filmmaking as well as the sorry state of my room, so I've not had time to clean recently, but I wanted to make this because this figure here, the Clear Eyes Son Gohan Great Saiyaman version, is quite possibly the worst Dragon Ball figure I own, or at least have seen in my experience. So, quick context, I love Dragon Ball. I fucking love Dragon Ball, and I really like generally, I really like Banpresto, company that makes these figures, because the sculpts are decent and the prices are reasonable. Anime figures are something that, like, at least with high quality ones, tend to be pretty expensive. And a friend of mine, Gecko, um, who's a fellow YouTuber, turned me on to Banpresto figures because they tend to be in like the sort of $20 to $30 range, which is more my speed, and they're a bit smaller. And like I said, the sculpts are decent, so I quite like them. I've got quite a few. If we look over here, I've got like all the Goku Vegeta fusions up there. I've got like Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, Goku Black, and a few others. And so I saw this one when I went to the mall recently, just a couple days ago, and I thought it looked really cool because this specific outfit for Gohan is actually my favorite from the series. I think like the Saiyaman outfit without the helmet and cape is like peak Gohan outfit. And I've gotten another figure from the same store in the mall previously. It's right back there, that sort of that Super Saiyan 3 Goku figure, and it's one of my favorite figures in my collection. So I picked this one up thinking, hey, maybe it'll be just as good. 'Twas not to be. So here we have the figure itself. First issue that I noticed is that its waist is really loose. So if you don't know anything about these Banpresto figures, they tend to ship in multiple parts. Like most often they separate at the waist, so it's easier to package in those little boxes. And if you can see, if I just shake it, his legs drop off. So that's an immediate problem. Let's see if I can get this back together with one hand. No, I cannot. I'm going to use two hands. Excuse the darkness for a few seconds. Thank you. So that's an immediate problem, is that it's very loose at the waist, which means it's more likely to break apart. Second problem is that the colors are weird. Like first of all, the sort of green gi, or whatever you want to call it, as well as the gloves and boots, are made out of a slightly translucent plastic. You can see it more so on like the gi than the boots, but I can assure you the boots look much more translucent in person. And it just looks wrong. It looks really off than normal. And on top of that, his like the black sort of bodysuit he has, which is like a black in the anime and the manga, but everything is black and white in the manga. They've made it like a dark gray for some reason. Like, and I don't know why they did that. And again, it just looks wrong. But all of that really pales in comparison to the problem that's attached to his leg right there. This figure, I assume as some sort of like cost-cutting measure, does not come with a stand like pretty much all of my other Dragon Ball figures. So you can see, particularly with the Fusion ones, all of them have stands that they sit on. Now, to be fair, for those ones, that's because they're all like in like a sort of hovering or flying pose, so they need to have a stand. But also for like, you can see those ones down there for Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, and Gotenks. They're all standing on the ground, but they have normal, stands. And that makes sense, because that helps them, stand up. You need to have them to be able to stand up. But for some reason, this one, they decided to have this black lump of plastic that attaches to his leg to help him stand up, instead of a normal, like, one that just attaches to both feet and stick it in, it stands up. And now this isn't the only figure I've had that has this. Funnily enough, the only other one I do is another Gohan figure, which I've got here for reference. This being Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan. You can see it's a little piece of blue plastic that attaches to his sort of inner leg instead of a normal stand. I assume they do this as some sort of like cost-cutting measure. I really don't know though. And it annoyed me with this figure, but ultimately I got over it because it still works. What really annoys me is that for this figure, it doesn't fucking work. And now the figure's gone across the room. So it doesn't come with a normal stand, And I've had this issue, and I know why he won't stand up. It's because I don't think it'll come across on camera, but his legs are bent slightly too far inward, which means they don't balance properly, and he always just wants to tip over. If I put a little bit of pressure on it, his legs spread out, and now he feels more stable, but it doesn't stay that way because it's flexible plastic. Oh, this is the first time. This is the only time I've actually gotten it to stand up. That's funny, but the slightest bit of like a slight breeze will knock it over. And like I've had this issue of like the legs being sort of bent inward a bit too much on other figures, but again, those figures have stands. So you have to, so if you just like, you know, bend the flexible plastic to get their feet in the peg holes, then they'll stand up perfectly fine and it won't be an issue anymore. This one, because they went for this stupid thing, doesn't work. So yeah, this figure fucking sucks. And I'm really disappointed. Like the only nice thing I can really say is the face sculpt is okay. But even then, like his eyes kind of look like they're off. Like, I don't know. Like his face looks slightly off somewhat. But like the overall sculpt of his face and his hair especially looks fine. But it's just, yeah. This is a really crappy figure. And I sure am glad that I paid $33 plus tax for it. And in my infinite wisdom, I decided not to keep the receipt, which means I'm most likely not getting a refund for it. That last bit's not their fault, but I'm going to pretend it is because it makes me feel better. And it means I don't have to take responsibility for my actions. I'm not really going to do that, but it's funny, I guess. So yeah, do not buy this let me use the box so you can, because that's what you're going to see in the store. Do not buy this figure. It is not good. It's really crap. Like, it looks really cool on the box, but then you see it in real life, and I don't know if this will come across, but yeah, it just doesn't look as good. So yeah, don't get this figure. It's not worth the money. Get a different Band Presto figure. Actually, you can find this one for a good price. I really like this one, this Super Saiyan 3 Goku one, or really any of the other figures I have on my shelf here. Any of those are worth the price, but I don't know if they sell them anymore because I've gotten them over the course of several years. Anyway, I'm done rambling now. Yeah. Don't buy that.